when it comes to your physical mastery, it is when you accept defeat of that which you don't want to see out in the world. What do I mean by that? Well, first of all, welcome anyone who's new. What I mean is that the individuals who are expanding into the 5D collective enlightened person, mindfully living, spiritually living, when you achieve the capacity to be aware of what caused you deeply. I'm an Akashic record reader. So for me, I have done the mental, emotional, and physical plane, and the mastery is what I'm talking about right now. And so it's once you can say, yes, I accept. So in my case, I accept that human suffering, love narrative people will consistently and continue to be here. Why? Because some people, well, they choose to be ego and shamed narrative with a facade self and a superhero, supervillain story. That's why. So you don't have to choose being yourself when you have a story that satisfies ego and shame's narrative. And that's why I've accepted defeat. Not all people, when presented with the choice, do I enlighten Maria or do I decide to do this? Well, let me ask you, do you think that you are a victim because you have clairs? Do you think that you're a victim because someone out there, I don't know, do you actually don't, do you do growth and impartiality by any chance, or do you think no? So this is where I can bring a lot of things into the mix, but what I'm going to say is that people don't choose healthy self worth because they choose that casting stones and being a part of a group is what's going to lead them to being enlightened. So I've accepted physically in my thoughts and my emotional plane when I see human suffering, love narratives, and superheroes and supervillains, it's not the 5D collective that is going to be coming here to HP and just anywhere where we have enlightened people. Okay, so welcome aboard. It's mindful and spiritual self help, personal development for those who do choose to be their self. And that's why the 5D collective, we are definitely a bunch of people who want to be our true self. We bring authenticity and we bring healthy self worth and we bring integrity. But we don't bring an ego that will bow down to you. We bring an ego self that has that inner harmony. So the messages for today for you all, it is where you can enjoy the fruits of ego mind and self heart body with healthy self worth and empowerment and the enlightening version of you. Now that you embody consciousness at this lovely 5D frequency, so you have sacred union and your destiny, mind, heart, body, and that's with the lovely Christ consciousness. And so you know how to turn knowledge into wisdom and wisdom into knowledge. And so emotions and thoughts, no laundry, self worth and feelings. And with that, the divine masculine has broken down the facade of the ego and can now enjoy growth with impartiality. That comes with being an equanimous mind, heart, body, living and loving person in a restorative, embodied, self-aware, accountable, and regulating, mindful and or spiritual living and loving embodiment. Because you choose that when you're focusing attention and the emotions come up in awareness and you integrate in kind intention. That's mindful living and spirituality if you have also spiritual beliefs. Great. Now, number two part of divine masculines is they don't have the defectiveness, shame, or unlovable parts of self. They've moved beyond it. Okay, so there's no more unfaced fears. The facades, they have the faced fears. They just project them again as stories. And the divine masculines of the 5D collective, they've learned how to work with their own self and not misuse 3D earthly adaptive child patterns. So thought patterns have been worked through your core belief of yourself, your relational narrative, and your solo self. So you know how to work again with the ego mind. And so the ego mind works with the heart. No more shame, no more unlovability, no more adaptive child or maladaptive child patterns of behavior that involve substance abuse or anything out of moderation and anything that was a compulsion. So you also don't distort the value of you by saying materials and status are what you are. Okay, so you understand the value is because you have integrity. You have a heart body and a value body. You have an emotional, mental, and physical body. You're being your whole self. So that's mind and heart. Divine feminine has broken down the victim, saving, special, martyr, and any of that facade of the ego and can now enjoy their connection with source, because usually divine feminine, the ones who have it. Some don't, but you still will have this purpose, this calling, emotional calling to be that nurturer. So you understand choosing to nurture enlightenment and expanding consciousness, humbled with purpose that comes with a healthy self-worth, humbled you. Okay, and so you know that free will choice for everyone to choose being the true self is also a choice that you're making. Not all will want inner and outer well-being. Not all will want to live a life of meaning and connection beyond the solo self. So being yourself this way is not for everyone. And that not all people, in fact, want to live mindfully or spiritually. They don't want to love unconditionally. They don't want to pursue neutrality and duality because they don't believe in being equanimous. They are not open to the infinite possibilities of tomorrow, and they're not open to being ordinary while being with our breath taken away by all of that which our humanity brings forth. So they don't accept imperfections. And that's why they are a rigid, adaptive child, part of their self, which is where you're going to notice the facades. Again, they have a superhero, supervillain story for you, and they will distort it, and the people who follow them will be going along their journey. In the meantime, they think they're enlightening because of the words they use, but their bodies will be dissipating because their choice is to stay in modulated, dysregulated, embodied self. So, by disengaging from choosing to grow compassion, kindness, and move into restorative embodiment, self aware, accountable, and regulating, mindful, spiritual living, they're going to be getting older by the minute. You won't notice them go, wow, you'll notice them go. So, we'll be back with more. I want to make this one short so that the daylight still comes through, but we have a longer version of all of the channeled guidance messages on Instagram. I don't think I posted it on YouTube yet, but I will look to post it later on. And I owe you all, this week is how we're going to distribute the rest of that, which came through yesterday. It's a lot. So I need to organize it, and it'll be throughout the week that I'll share it, just so you know, the ones of you who tuned in yesterday and are on the awareness of the playlist, the song playlist. I'm really excited about that one. That was really fun to get it channeled through, so I want to share that story. Again, thank you so much for stopping by. Like, share, and subscribe. If you know anybody who loves to do mindful living, self-help, and personal development with spirituality, 5D Mystic here. We're going to have some stories, I think, in a little bit on the Oversoul, and if not, we'll probably have a late HP show later. So again, thank you for stopping by.